Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into Biden's debate blunder and dissecting how the Democrats are scrambling to spin this. So, buckle up and let's get started. In a recent interview, Joe Biden made a comment that has left many scratching their heads. He said, "We spent trillions of dollars fossil fuels. Now what do we have shows up?" Let me break down why this statement was a big no-no and how the Dems are trying to spin it. Firstly, Biden claimed that he didn't say it, when in fact, he did. Now, he's trying to blame the press for taking him out of context. But guess what? The GOP is relentlessly calling him out for his hypocrisy and contradicting past statements. For instance, in 2019 alone, Biden called climate change the most serious threat we face and promised to dedicate trillions towards green energy production. So, what's happening now? The Dems are scrambling to save face, and even went as far as summoning Al Gore to defend the administration in a Fox News interview. It sure sounds like they're panicking from all the negative attention this blunder has received. In conclusion, this debacle highlights Biden's inconsistency and showcases how the Democrats are struggling to spin his statements. It's clear that climate change is a serious issue that needs attention and action from our leaders. Thanks for joining us. We're diving into the debate between President Biden and Donald Trump. Now, some people argue that Biden didn't lose this debate, and they might have a point. So, let's dive in and explore just how bad it was for Trump. First off, let's talk about the way Trump addressed the Biden family. While it's fair to criticize someone's spouse or children for their actions, it can come across as disrespectful when talking about another candidate. Plus, Biden has been consistent in saying he doesn't want to discuss his family's affairs. Moving on to Trump's constant interruptions, we've seen this before from him in other debates. However, this time around, Biden decided to fight fire with fire and match Trump's interruptions. And let me tell you, the moderator had his work cut out for him trying to control both candidates. Now, here's a fun fact: Joe Biden has never lost a debate in his entire career, and this one was no exception. In fact, based on the immediate reactions from viewers across the country, many folks seem to agree that Biden came out on top in this matchup. Thanks for joining me in exploring this lively debate topic. Hey there, fellow travel enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the world of luggage and luggage accessories, specifically highlighting our top picks that will make your next trip a breeze. Kicking off our list is the Hinari Expandable Carry-On Spinner, a high-quality suitcase that's perfect for any adventure. This spinner comes with a handy removable backpack, so you can skip the baggage carousel and head straight to your destination. Next up is the Yard Sale Toiletry Bag. This versatile bag is great for just about any toiletries you need to bring along, and it's stylish enough to impress anyone who spots it in your bathroom. The best part? It's machine washable, so you don't have to worry about any spills or stains ruining your trip. For those who love to snap photos on their travels, we recommend the Shutterbug Compact Camera. This small yet powerful camera fits in your pocket and takes amazing shots that will make all your friends green with envy when they see your vacation photos. Finally, we have the TSA-approved cable locks for luggage. These locks are approved by the Transportation Security Administration (TSA) and come with a convenient key holder for easy access when you're on the go. So there you have it, folks. These top-notch luggage accessories will enhance your travel experience and make packing a breeze. We're diving into a little guessing game about the upcoming presidential debates. So, let's imagine what could be the most crucial moment for each candidate, and how we'll remember this debate a year from now. For Biden, the moment he might regret is when he goes after Trump too aggressively. It's essential for him to project a calm image and not seem overly critical of someone who won the presidential election twice. As for Trump, his key moment could be when he gets too defensive or goes too far in his responses, as he often does. We'll remember this debate a year from now by recalling the top storylines of the day, maybe something about Biden accidentally saying President Obama. Now, for DeSantis, his potential regrettable moment could be when he becomes too aggressive or comes across as overly defensive about his credentials. However, if DeSantis impresses with his poise and knowledge, it might come down to whether voters already know him well enough or not. And let's not forget about Ross. As we all know, Ross is often remembered for saying something like, "I made banks," in his defense. So, his key moment will likely involve him defending himself or attacking his opponents in an aggressive manner. So there you have it, our predictions on what we'll remember about this debate a year from now. Thanks for joining us in this fun exercise of speculation. Today, we're discussing the latest news about the New York Times editorial board calling for President Biden to drop out of the 2024 race. Now, let's dive into this intriguing topic. The New York Times editorial board has requested that President Biden not seek re-election due to concerns about his age and his ability to handle potential economic and international issues in the upcoming term. They believe that the country needs someone who can step into office in 2025 with a fresh start, ready to tackle these challenges head-on. The editorial board acknowledges that Biden has served admirably during his presidency, but as he approaches 86 years old and for years, they worry about his physical health and mental sharpness if faced with unexpected crises during a second term. The next president will inherit an economy shaken by war and inflation, and face a world transformed by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. They argue that it's best for the country if an energetic, mentally agile leader takes over in 2025, rather than having a president who might be struggling with age or unforeseen health issues during their time in office. And there you have it, folks. That's the latest on the New York Times editorial board's request for President Biden to drop out of the 2024 race. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited to share with you the latest buzz from our Virginia rally. Even though we just wrapped up a heated debate, Donald Trump didn't miss a step and took the stage for an energetic rally night victory lap. Let me fill you in on all the juicy details. A couple of hours after the debate ended, Trump made his way onto the stage at a massive Virginia rally, and let me tell you, he was on fire, with a crowd of over 20,000 people cheering him on. Trump celebrated his performance and even poked fun at Biden. He joked about Biden asking him for help, which was pretty funny. But then, something amazing happened. Joe Biden walked out for his segment of the debate, and the crowd erupted in applause. It was an unexpected twist that truly showed how invested people are in this election. When Biden had finished his part of the debate, Trump thanked the audience and asked them to stay put for more information later that night. So there you have it, folks. Trump is still going strong, and even found time to make some jokes during the break. It just goes to show how committed these supporters are, and how much passion there is behind this campaign. Thanks for tuning into this exciting update from our Virginia rally. Stay tuned for more exciting news as we approach Election Day. We're going to discuss the recent efforts of top Biden staffers to reassure nervous donors following Joe Biden's lackluster debate performance. After Joe Biden's underwhelming debate performance, top Biden staffers are working hard to calm down concerned donors. They're sending text messages and making phone calls in an attempt to ease the worries of those who are feeling uncertain about Biden's ability to win. In these messages, the staffers emphasize that the goal of the debates isn't for Biden to outshine Trump, but rather for him not to underperform. They remind voters that at the end of the day, it's not about who had the best zingers or did the best job at avoiding interruptions. What really matters is who Americans think won the night based on their personal preferences. Despite some disappointed donors expressing their dissatisfaction with Biden's performance, others have defended him, saying that he did a fine job and that he didn't make any major mistakes. The staffers also stress that Trump had plenty of opportunities for self-sabotage during the debate, and they remain confident that they can navigate those challenges effectively. That wraps up today's discussion on top Biden staffers reassuring nervous donors following Joe Biden's debate performance. We're going to talk about Obama backs Biden, bad debate nights happen. Let's dive right in. In a recent event held by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, former President Barack Obama had some words of encouragement for Vice President Joe Biden. You see, after his 2012 debate with Mitt Romney, Obama joked that bad debate nights happen to good people. He then reassured the audience that while bad debates can be nerve-wracking, it doesn't mean the candidate isn't a great one. Now, let's switch gears and discuss how this played out in the 2014 midterm election. Although Obama suffered a tough night during his second debate with Romney, it didn't affect the midterm election outcomes. In fact, his approval rating for those who cast their votes was 51%. This was higher than both Clinton and Bush had in similar debates during their second terms. So there you have it. Bad debate nights might be nerve-wracking, but they don't necessarily determine the outcome of an election, where we keep you updated on the latest news and happenings around the world. Today, we've got a shocker for you. President Biden has admitted to struggling with his debate skills, saying, "I don't debate as well as I used to." Now, This comes after a series of high-profile mistakes and gaffes from the president, which has led many to wonder whether he's still up to the task of being our leader. Just last week alone, we saw Biden mix up his wife and mother during a speech in New York City. And let's not forget his infamous "my wife is my mother" blunder earlier this year. But that wasn't all. He also seemed to suggest that anyone over 40 is considered elderly. Talk about a tough week. Meanwhile, former President Trump is making headlines by announcing his 2024 presidential campaign in front of a cheering crowd in Mar-a-Lago. While this move certainly stirs up excitement among Trump supporters, it also highlights just how far Biden is from even considering another run for office. So there you have it, folks. President Biden admitting that he's not as sharp in debates as he used to be. We'll be keeping a close eye on any developments related to the 2024 election and Biden's performance. Thanks for tuning in today. We're diving into the latest news regarding columnists who are sympathetic to Joe Biden and are urging him to call it quits. That's right, folks. We're breaking down what's happening with the 2024 presidential race and how it's shaping up for some exciting changes. You might have heard about the recent controversy involving Joe Biden and his staff having a private chat that went viral. They were discussing how they should just let Trump run again because the GOP is more united than their own Democratic Party. Now, two of Biden's most prominent columnists are urging him to step aside if he can't win in 2024. The way they see it, if Biden loses again, the Democratic Party will be in serious trouble for another 4 years. But if Trump wins again, the GOP will be even more united for another 8 years. So, what does this mean for the 2024 presidential race? It appears that Republicans are rallying behind Trump, while Biden's own supporters might push him out if he doesn't perform well in primaries. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor this dynamic situation. Thanks for tuning into today's update on Joe Biden and the 2024 presidential race. We're going to discuss the intriguing topic of Dean Phillips kind of breaking his silence on Biden's debate. So, let's dive right in. In his recent post-debate press conference, Dean Phillips had some interesting remarks about President Biden's performance. He praised Biden for remaining calm during the chaotic event, noting that it was the first time in a long time that Trump actually crossed a line. However, Phillips did highlight some areas where he thinks Biden could have done better. He suggested that Biden should have emphasized Trump's disqualification for office more, and pointed out that there was no such thing as a winner in this debate. Interestingly, when asked about how he feels about being called a winner, Phillips jokingly replied, "I feel like I just ate 12 donuts." This humorous response shows that despite the seriousness of the situation, he's keeping a sense of humor about it all. So, there you have it. It seems like Dean Phillips is staying positive and making light of the situation while still acknowledging areas where Biden could have done better in the debate. We're going to discuss a hot topic. It pains me how Biden's devastating debate went over at an assisted living facility. Now, let's dive into the details. During the recent Republican debate, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo had some harsh criticism for President Biden regarding the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. He stated, "It pains me more than anyone else to say that under President Biden's leadership, America has lost its way. Well, I decided to take a trip to an assisted living facility in Chicago to hear how this debacle was received by our senior citizens. I found that many of them actually agreed with Pompeo's assessment. One resident even said Biden might have to face God for this decision." On the other hand, when it came to President Trump's role in the January 6th Capitol riots, Democratic candidate Tom Cotton didn't hold back either. He asserted that Trump was directly responsible for those actions, and that no other president would have allowed such chaos. However, when Cotton mentioned Hunter Biden and China later on, many of the seniors in the room started nodding off due to their advanced age. So there you have it. It's fascinating to see how political debates are received among senior citizens. We're diving into the buzz surrounding Biden surrogates and their post-debate panic. So, buckle up and let's get started. Joe Biden's surrogates are feeling the heat after his less than stellar debate performance. In fact, one insider even had this to say: "The campaign is in total panic mode. They're now frantically trying to figure out how Biden can run for president without putting his running mate in an impossible position." But who is this running mate they're worried about? It seems that the candidate has a significant issue that could make it difficult to handle both the presidency and a separate matter at the same time. This issue could potentially derail the entire candidacy if not managed properly. So, what's the plan? According to insiders, the campaign aims to have Biden run for president, while simultaneously having their running mate tackle this separate issue. But here's the catch: if Biden doesn't come out on top, the candidate would likely be forced to step down before Inauguration Day due to their inability to handle both duties simultaneously. Wow, talk about a post-debate panic. Thanks for joining us as we unraveled this intriguing story. We're diving into the world of body language, and we'll be discussing what a body language expert noticed during the recent debate. So, let's get started. The expert highlights that Biden seems more engaged in the debate, even going as far as to comment on Biden's hair. However, he also points out that Biden has lost some of his usual charm and seems less convincing. On the other hand, Trump appears more tired and possibly less prepared this time around. His voice is also lower than before, and his eyes are more closed. Meanwhile, Harris appears to be in her element during the debate and is generally composed. But don't forget about Pence. He definitely won this round based on his reactions and his ability to maintain eye contact with both opponents simultaneously. This skill can be crucial in winning over undecided voters. In conclusion, while Harris and Pence seem to have their debates figured out, Biden and Harris may have lost a bit of their usual charm and energy. As for Trump and Pence, it seems like Trump could use some extra preparation next time around. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to discuss the buzz around Joe Biden's potential run for presidency and the movement to convince him otherwise. So, let's dive right in. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about Joe Biden not running for president. Now, I know you might have heard about this before and thought it was just another rumor, but this time, there's some real substance behind it. Just last week, a group of high-profile Biden donors met in Philadelphia to discuss their concerns about his potential candidacy in the upcoming election. These are not your average donors, they're the ones who have consistently supported him throughout his entire career. So when they speak up, it's definitely worth paying attention to. The main reason for their concern is that they believe the Democrats could face serious trouble in 2020 if Biden decides to run. They also fear that Trump will capitalize on any potential lapses in memory that Biden may experience as he ages during the campaign period. So, there you have it. The movement to convince Joe Biden not to run is gaining momentum, and it's something we should all keep an eye on in the coming months. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. We're diving into a not-so-pleasant topic: Joe Biden's disastrous June 27, 2024 debate. Let's break down some of the major issues that arose during that fateful day. First on the list, the FBI was forced to make a shocking announcement about classified documents being discovered at Biden's residence. The agency had no choice but to act when images of Biden flipping off the crowd appeared at the Delaware State University event. Oops. Meanwhile, Team Biden was left scrambling to create a fake photo of classified documents being found at Mar-a-Lago. However, they were unaware of the new policy, requiring 147 days for such an investigation, which would have been approved just 3 days prior. Unfortunately for Joe, his approval rating plummeted even further, with only 30% of Americans now supporting him as their top democracy pick, just 1 point higher than Kamala Harris. And let's not forget about Ron DeSantis, who is currently running away from Joe in Florida and nationally. As we continue to monitor this situation, it's clear that Joe Biden faces some tough times ahead. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Thank you so much for joining me in this discussion, where we keep you up to date on all the latest news. Today, we're discussing the recent Democratic debate that took place on June 27, 2024. Now, initially, the Dems had high hopes that this debate would give their campaign a much-needed boost. But let me tell you, things didn't quite go as planned for them. The biggest winner of the night was none other than Joe Biden himself. His main objective was to showcase that he was not only in good health, but also that he had a sharp mind ready to tackle any challenges that may come his way during the presidency. However, Joe's choice of words "no malarkey" might have left some voters scratching their heads. Unfortunately for Biden, he also stumbled on a number of issues surrounding child care and inflation. While it's clear that he still has the fire to run for president, these missteps could potentially lead some voters to question his suitability for the job. And let's not forget about Kamala Harris. She had a solid first half of the debate, but seemed a bit off her game in the second half. She also made a questionable decision by refusing to shake hands with Biden at the end of the debate. So there you have it, folks. another roller coaster of a debate for the Democrats. Thanks for tuning in to our latest update. We're diving into the latest news on the Biden administration and their efforts to spin the June 27th debate. So, let's get started. Surrogates for President Biden are working hard to present him as the clear frontrunner in the June 27th debate, highlighting his experience and preparedness compared to Trump. The plan is to keep Trump on defense during the entire debate, capitalizing on his recent behavior and controversial remarks. The team knows that if Trump gets a chance to go on offense against Biden, he could potentially make some damaging comments that could stick with voters. In contrast, Trump seems more concerned about attacking Republicans, who might challenge him in the primaries. Biden's team is confident that they can outlast Trump in a debate and focus on their candidates' strengths while simultaneously weakening Trump's arguments. They believe that voters will gravitate towards Biden as the more competent and prepared candidate after watching both debates. So there you have it, folks. That's the latest update on President Biden's surrogates and their strategy for June 27th's debate. Stay tuned for more exciting news and updates. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Until next time, take care.